Hello, so I thought I'd do a follow-up video to sort of go into more detail on setting up electric kit with software such as Superior Drummer or GGD as I've got here. So the way I've got it set up is using this WHD module. I'm not using the USB, I'm actually using the MIDI out from this module and running a long cable along the back into my sound card's MIDI inputs. The benefit of this is that I don't have to deal with the USB issues or latency. It's just firing the MIDI signal straight down into the sound card. The way I've got the kit set up is I have some extra drums, so I have an extra kick for double kick, and I've got the two crashes, and then I've also set up this V drum pad as a ride cymbal, so I can get the three toms, snare and the ride at the same time. The way I've done this is plugged everything up as normal and then added the extra ones into the extra inputs. And then what I can do is I can then choose in the software what these extra drums do, so I can make sure that that kick is registered as a kick in the software, so that when I press this I get a kick as well as the normal kick. And also to tell the software that I want two different types of cymbals for the crashes. So on the software side of things, the best place to start is your sound card and drop the block size. So I've dropped mine to 16, which is the lowest I can get, and that seems to be okay. CPU wise, it seems to be able to handle the samples at that low block size. And the block size is essentially, the lower the number, the lower the latency. So the more powerful your CPU, the lower you'll be able to get that number. So next we'll jump into the software and I'll explain what to do in there. So we're inside our DAW. I'm using FL Studio for this example. I'm going to go into my contact libraries and I'm going to grab my modern and massive drum sample library. So I've loaded it up and I'm going to choose my preset, so I'm going to go for default kit. And now if you want to change individual drums, you can do that. You can go through each drum, you can adjust volumes, you can adjust reverbs, EQ of each mic. It gets quite detailed. But I'm just, for this example, going to use the default 100% turbo kit. The next thing you're going to do is click on this eye up here in the top right, and you're going to check your MIDI input. Now I'm using a MIDI sound card, so I've got a host here, so these are my MIDI channels for my sound card. Sometimes if you're just plugging a USB cable straight in, you probably want to try Omni first. So once you've selected your MIDI input, you're going to go to settings and you're going to go to mappings, and you're going to use this menu to map your drums to the sample that you want. So if you want the kick, you're going to click the record button here, and then you're going to hit the kick on your electric drum kit, and it will map that sample to that MIDI trigger. Once you've gone through that, you can then save the map. So I've got a map here that I've created, a custom one, where I've already mapped all my drums. Then the last thing you want to look at is the velocity curves. So you want to turn off global, and you want to go through each of these and adjust your velocity. I usually find the snares a bit too compressed sounding, so you want to pull that back. It'll sound more natural. You'll get access to a greater scope of samples, representing that kind of lower volume sound on the snare. The kick, if you want to make it sound more triggered, you can pull it that way. If you want to make it sound more like a kick in the room, you can pull it back. Same with the floor toms. I usually find it sounds more natural to pull these back. The ride cymbal the same. I actually find that you have to go as far as you can with the ride and the hi-hat to get it sounding good on this kit. So yeah, here's what it's sounding like so far. So yeah, that's how to set up most electric drum kits with most drum software. Hope that helps, and thanks again. Cheers, bye.